Hello guys, you are welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yvonne Princess Shabango. If you are new here, you're welcome to like, subscribe, share, and comment. My sound is not going to be so crystal because these babies playing outside. Like I think it's school holidays or something. It's a weekend, but yeah, they're having a good time. So please do pardon me for that. Today I am reviewing a book I have been marinating in. It took me a bit of some time to review it. I finished it, I think, 2 weeks or a week ago. I was just left with like I think 5 pages or so, and then I actually had to marinate in the lessons that I had learned from this book. Guys, Sam Gimplonga has to make in this lifetime. She has to make best-selling author for this book because this book is not fiction. I don't know what it's classified under, but it is definitely not fiction because it is the reality of over 65% of women all over the world. So it can't be classified as fiction. I refuse. Even though the characters are fictitious and stuff, but I don't think it should be under fiction. It is a very educative book. Thoroughly enjoyed it. In my prayers, I will definitely be praying that Ringfence makes best-selling author because some Gemflong actually gave us everything here. So what I love the most about this book, it's an easy read in that it keeps you glued. You want to go to the next chapter. Like literally at every single chapter, I'm thinking I've got other things to do, but I need one more chapter. It's very addictive. It's a book that you can finish within 2 days, even a day, if you've got like the whole day just to yourself and reading. It's a beautiful book. I love how it's 386 pages. I love how some guest spoke about death. She spoke about marriage. She spoke about sisterhood, the importance of sisterhood, friendships, university, finances, culture, religion, journaling, you name it, like personal finance, women finance, insurances that you should have, things you should know when you graduate. Like it's all in here. I love how she tied everything in and was like, I'm gonna give you guys everything. So for that, she's gotta make best-selling author. One of my favorite stories is the one where I might mix up the names, but it's the one where Nala loses her husband. Yes, Nala loses her husband, and then after losing her husband, she's accused of actually killing the husband so that she could take the money. And in my head, I'm like, how is that even a thing? You know, it is a thing, but like it really hurt my feelings because also in this book, you'll cry, laugh, and all of that, right? It has the serious elements and things that we face in life, like, yeah, marriage, raising children, divorces and stuff, and then it also has the vibe there, let's go to groove, there, let's go on as much dates as we would like, let's date men as much as we would, and yeah, it's got everything. So Nala's story actually, like, it really touched my heart to think that there's still cultures that uphold a certain rituals that demean women. Like literally the fact that one, she was accused of killing her husband, and in order to clear her name, she was being forced to sleep with the uncle, and then after being forced, she didn't do that, and then they told her that if you're not going to do that, we're keeping your child. They took her child away from her for at least a period of 7 years. And then you realize that again, we live in a society where men tend to be intimidated by career women or successful women, and those type of relationships end up ending in abuse. Then you look at Ukaya and the scenario of Junior. As she elevated in her career, she was being abused. She kept on, it's like for every elevation in her career, she actually got punches for it. That was also so sad, but these are things, like these are real life stories. And you know, the fact that women are weaponized, women are sexualized in the workplace. I was having a conversation with someone that said women are just being given opportunities, what about boys and stuff like that. I'm like, the thing is, there's so much damage. I got that person's argument to say, okay, boys are being left behind, whatever the case may be. I'm like, the thing that you don't understand is that with women, there's so much damage that has been done over the years, damage that has been done by history, you know, the oppressors and etc. But also we have damage that is being done by men of our color. We have damage that's being done by women against women. So there's a lot of things that we need to rectify for women. That's why at any given opportunity, advance women, because we don't believe in empowering women. Already have all the power they need. They possess the greatest power you could ever have. I love that she put out so much on the things that need to be done to elevate women, you know, personal finance, knowing how your money moves around, being deliberate and intentional, signing up ANCs, when you're married and come into property, but protect yourself, all of that type of stuff, the importance of drafting wills, the importance of knowing, like, if anything is to happen to you, if you have children, where are the funds gonna go? And also, like, I loved how there was this element, she also addresses the mother wound, right? I love how there was this element where who's this? Is it Nala or Lolo? Is it Lolo? Ne? I think it's Lolo, guys. You should get the book and then you'll get the names right. Whereby she was having, her relationship with her mother was so imperfect, right? But then her mother then takes her inheritance and then borrows it to the stepdad because the dad had passed on, and etc. And then when it's time for Lolo to get married, figure her life and all of that, then the mother then says, I used the money, I don't have the money. And the mother is not apologetic. Then it also shows you how issues of inheritance, I think also I'm not sure, I'm not going to speak for other races, but I know in the African culture, issues of inheritance are a thing, because you find yourself in a position where maybe your parents left you an inheritance, but they were not clear on who must handle the finances if you're not yet of age. So you find that the person that handles finances is irresponsible. And again, yes, sometimes you can leave the money with the the guidance fund, right, which is the state that holds the money until you're of age. But what are the implications of that? So it's always important that we also normalize estate planning, as a woman and as a man. I love this book so much. And then also I love how it touches on, like, relationships and universities, how certain things evolve, how at some point you could be like a squad, you could be a sisterhood, but as adulting happens, you need to go in, you go into different stages and different seasons of life. But what I loved about these women, they still protected each other, they still kept it together. Their life was in different spaces or different paces, but they still held it together for each other. They still supported one another, they still loved one another. And this book is too good, guys. I don't know. And the thing is, it's hard for me to actually review it without giving you guys almost all the details, because it's really too good. But if you're a young person, I highly recommend, if you're a mom, buy this for your 18-year-old. 16, yeah, I think 16 is a safe age. Buy this for your 16-year-old. If you're into a young adult, buy it for yourself. I got this copy from Samke. It's a signed copy. For me as a reader, I love it when I get when I get signed copies. I bought it from her directly at a particular event. But yeah, this is a beautiful book. And also I love how she touches on the lifestyle that a lot of us women succumb to, the fast lifestyle. You want luxury brands, you want to date rich men, you don't care whether they're married or not. She also touches that life, and then she also touches on how at the end of the day you find yourself empty. I remember where Kaya went into this rampage where she was just trying to get revenge. She had been raped. She also touches on rape. She had been raped by someone who was supposed to be her mentor, and then she got raped by Peter. And then after getting raped by Peter on a trip that was supposed to elevate her career, improve her career, on that trip she gets raped by somebody she looked at as a mentor, and then that broke her. And when that broke her, she went on a rampage where she was just slipping around, using men for money. But what she didn't realize, and she only realized after a year, that in as much as she thought she was dealing with man must pay for everything every other man had done in her life, she was actually using herself as collateral damage. And it brings me to my point. This book also teaches, never use your body as collateral damage. No matter how much people hurt you, your body is a temple. Protect your body. You can use any other distraction, but don't compromise your body because of how somebody has treated you or how much pain they've inflicted on you. Do not use your body as collateral damage. Don't do it. And then there's a page I love so much. I want to go into it right now. Let's see. I love also this book is very relatable to me, because the same way Kaya valued Nala as that wise friend and stuff like that, I also have a couple of my girlies where I know that when I go to them, when I call them, they're a voice of reason. And it teaches you that friendship, you must have genuine friendships. You must strive to have genuine relationships, because those are the people that keep you together when you're falling apart. Those are the people that show you when you're moving away, that show you that, you know what, you're going into the wrong direction. So I really love that. Like, she touches on different types of relationship, how we women relate with men, how we befriend men, how we are when we're in marriage, and also how it's easy for marriage to turn sour. And I love how also she's not one-sided in as much as she's for women advancement, but I love how in certain instances she does depict, like for instance, Runako's relationship with who was the partner? I forgot Runako's husband, but there's parts where Runako admits to also not being like, she depicts a part where the Runako's husband also gets to say his own part, to say, oh no, when was the last time you actually watched TV with me? When was the last time you actually did this? And then Runako also gets to say her own side of the story. In as much as Runako is chained into that marriage, Samge does give us an overview of some of the nuances that cause relationships to fall apart. And it's in the little things. Because when I was reading, I was thinking, why would this husband complain about when was the last time you watched a series? But thinking about it, if a series is what makes him happy and watching it with you is what makes him happy, and it's what you used to do in your young age, like, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem, because if you've got expectations, you also need to meet other people's expectations. So I love how she displayed that. And then even I loved how she displayed the workplace scenario, like at induction level, because whatever you do, and I really wish this needs to be incorporated in the curriculum. I don't know what people study now in LO, but I think in LO there must be an emphasis on career education, in that in LO like high schools must actually even take students grade 11, I think from grade 10 you go to a particular university, do a tour, get an understanding, and even if possible you go to companies that offer these VAC work, or that allow students to come and observe or shadow. Put students in work environments, even explain things like how you read an employment contract, an understanding of your salary. I loved how she touched on that, because I'm a career enthusiast, right? So I love how she also touched on how, when you're fresh out of university, when a person says they'll pay you 20K, you're so excited. But what you don't know, your gross is 20K, but what comes into your bank account is probably 12,000 Rand, because there's deductions. And then also understanding your deductions, understanding your insurances, your policies, what they can do for you, because there's a part where Kaya actually exits her workplace to start her own thing, and then she realizes that there were certain policies that she did not know about. She didn't know how they work. So I love how she elaborated that. And I think, like I was saying earlier on, it is very important that our curriculum is shifted a bit to almost integrate university life and workplace life, because I mean, life orientation can't just be about don't have sex, don't be pregnant, because I mean, they still go and get pregnant before time, they still drink alcohol. Let's prepare people for things beyond what we think is the only things that's important, right? So I think LO must be reevaluated. I hope this reaches, I don't know who does the curriculums, is it the Minister of Education or something? I don't know, but I really hope it reaches her one way or another, because I don't think LO is sufficient. If we're saying life orientation, honey, you better prepare me for high school, you better prepare me for university, so that when I get to university I don't get swayed around. Yes, I know there's only so much you can be prepared for, but at least having an idea. You find that a lot of people that drop out of university or that repeat or fail modules, it's not that they're dumb or they were incapable. It's usually because they were not equipped for university. And then once you've equipped me for university, given me the basics, give me the basics for the workplace, or the basics for starting a business. If I'm going to go into the workplace, how do I conduct myself professionally? When I'm reviewing my employment contract, what am I looking for? What is a dummy pay slip? What does gross salary mean? Net salary mean? So those are some of the things that are important. I really love this. And then there's one of my favorite parts of this book. I literally want to read it directly from you guys. Here it is. And Q, I believe that this is your ikigai. Is it ikigai? You guys will forgive me if I didn't pronounce it properly. Haley edit. My what, guy? Kaya squinted at Haley, puzzled. Ikigai, your purpose. The Japanese believe that your purpose lies at the meeting of what the world needs. what you love doing, and what you are good at, and what you will get paid for. Haley said, counting the 4 points on her fingers. Let's take it from the top. Now, Ikigai is your purpose. The Japanese believe your purpose lies at the meeting of what the world needs, what you love doing, what you are good at, and what you will get paid for. That is purpose. And I know that purpose is different for everyone, but this resonated a lot with me. Loved it so much. And then we are all, I love how towards the end she goes on about how we are all indebted to the world. We are all cold. It's, okay, maybe not all, right? All of us are cold. Actually, no, we're all cold, but a few are chosen. And many of us, we are indebted to the world. We have to carry out our purpose, right? We have to do according to what we're called. And many times we don't realize that our lives are divinely orchestrated. Our occurrences, our journeys are preparing us for the bigger picture. And bigger picture, not even in literal sense. Sometimes my bigger picture is speaking on stages, teaching, traveling the world. For another person, their bigger picture is gardening, being able to babysit kids. The bigger picture is not the same with everybody, but always make sure that by the time you exit this world, you are not indebted to the world. You are not indebted to your purpose. You have carried out your purpose. You've done every single thing that you could do. That's what you need to make sure. And another thing that I loved about this book, guys, I traveled to many countries on a low budget. Now I know that I definitely want to go see Rome live, because of how it was described and narrated. Usam is such a great writer, and she's quite hilarious. Love her so much, Kesan. And then there's another one I want to read for you guys, right? And it speaks to, it's important that, and I love how she started her speech when she went for her international trip, right? And then I want to read you guys her journal entry. So it's so funny how the signals are always there. There's something that Bumi once said to say, the dots will always connect. You can ignore it all you want, but from a very young age, there's always connecting dots that tell you where you will end up. There may be detours in life, there may be things that happen, but there will always be signs and signals on where you are supposed to be. This is what she entered into her journal, 8 August 2015. This is her personal journal. And another thing she does encourage is writing things out. I write quite a lot, and I'm always amazed at some of the things that are happening now. The other day I was laughing. I'm like, God is so humorous. There's certain things I'll write down in 2019. These things have materialized in 2024, 2023. So normalize writing things down. God will always speak to you. You got, some people call it intuition, some people refer to the universe, but I call it the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit will always drop gems in your heart through dreams when you're sleeping. Write significant things that you think are happening in your life, and always go back and read when you feel stuck and you realize that the answers are always in between. This was some M. Flongos journal on 8 August 2015, and this is before releasing the book. And so she had this encounter with the psychic who tells her that she hasn't paid her debt, and she was so confused, and she was told how the debt is not materialistic, because she was saying, oh no, but I've paid everybody that I owe. I don't have any debt. Only she'll be told that the debt she owes is not a monetary debt, it's a debt that she owes to the people. It's a debt that she had vowed to herself to say she's a powerhouse. And I love how also she speaks to wealth not being about money, not being about materialistic things, but wealth being you. You are the wealth, you are the value, you are the prize, you are the diamond. Many times we remove ourselves from situations and we think the prize is in the connection. The prize is in the clothes we wear, the prize is in the people we know. But what you don't know, you are the prize, you are the spark. If there wasn't you, that can also not exist. So it's always important that you know that you are the prize. And then this is what the journal says, 8 August 2015, and I think this is before she releases her book. Yeah, this is before she released her book. And then it says, well, ciao. I got out of class photos last night, and when I saw the prize, I was re-energized. It was amazing how powerful seeing the prize is. It's such a powerful tool that I need to engage more often. Thank you, universe, for the lesson. I'm going to trust my journey, but I swear, I feel like I'm being prepared for something massive, massive, massive. This is how I often feel. Like, every time I have certain conversations with my very close friends, I always feel like this is like my dreams and things God wants to do for me, using me. They're bigger than me. I'm just a vessel, and I'm always praying that I never miss the mark. I'm always praying that I'm always led and directed, right? She says, I'm being prepared for something massive, massive. I feel like everything I'm writing here and journaling will be published in a book. And this is prior. And this is the thing, the signs are always there. You're always led and directed. That will be distributed worldwide. I feel like I will be on talk shows, The Voice for Women. I feel like you're reading this and I'm thinking, yes, I know you'll be reading this. You tired woman, fighter for woman, warrior for woman, who can't seem to catch a break. Who can't seem to catch a break. And I'm saying to you, I feel 100% silly typing this and would be embarrassed if somebody read it now. But I feel in the next 5 years, you will be reading this and making sense of it all. And I will be looking back and saying, I knew the journey was preparing me for something great. And how do I know? Because all good stories start off with trying times, because I can't be going through all of this hell for nothing, because the extreme growth curve I'm on cannot be for nothing, because the universe wouldn't have shaken up a whole household for nothing. It doesn't work that way, because that hope is the only thing that keeps me alive. And if I'm wrong, well, at least I would have used my dream to get me through these trying times. Either way, I win. Guys, the signs are always there. You always know. Like, you always know. Write things down. I highly recommend writing things down. Also, there's something that Bumi said again, that she challenges everybody to write their life book even if they don't release it. And that's the thing about, and maybe it's for people like us, or it's easy for people like us to say it. When you read quite a lot, or when you experience humanity, you realize that we all have a story to tell. And you realize that our story is what makes us us, and our story is very unique. So write things down. The most beautiful moments in your life, the most downest moments in your life. Write something. Start your journal. What I love also about technology right now is you can keep your notes from 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 20 years ago, and you'll always be able to go back to these notes and be like, oh my God, how did I get here? So I really, my prayer is that this book makes best-selling and it reaches all young people all over the world. It may seem like it's a female book, but I genuinely believe that men also need to read this book, because it almost also elaborates on some of the things that men do unconsciously, or even consciously, or because of culture or societal stigmas or whatever, how it impacts women in their life, or women that come after, so yes. And it teaches you, man, guys, do something with your life. Don't be so codependent on other people. Make sure that you're a person that's able to stand on their own, not from an arrogant perspective or anything like that, but get a job, do something, start a business or something. Don't sit there and be so dependent on the next person, because people do change, people do grow, and people can't just leave you hanging. Thoroughly enjoyed this book so much. Hope it reaches every single person in the world. Highly recommend it. It seems like fiction, but this is not fiction. I refuse to think this is fiction. One day when I sit next to somebody and ask her particular questions about this book, I'll be like, what, Samge, I'm your girl. Just tell me, these things really happened, right? Because wow, they're so well written. Love them so much. And and there's always that squad, man. I love this book, guys. It's a solid 11 out of 10, and because it speaks to the reality of the things that we go through. It's not segregated. It's not like, oh my God, shocking. It's some of these issues we face them. And also, I love how this book gives us permission to be part of the people that resolve the issues that are happening. You can start your own thing and ensure that other women benefit from it, other young men benefit from it, other young people benefit from it, or other adults benefit from it. But we are responsible for ourselves and enhancing and evolving the world. If we are not doing anything, if you are not doing anything, then the world will not change. It starts with your voice, it starts with sharing your story. Every person must share their story, no matter how ugly or messy it looks like. We all have those parts of us that are not so cute, but those are the parts that actually change people's perspectives. Those are the parts that actually change people's narratives, and those are the parts that actually make us us, that makes us unique. So definitely get this book. I think it's about 300 rand. You can also get it at exclusive books. Yeah, enjoy, happy reading, thoroughly enjoyed it. Bye.